Longthmore, July 1975. I wake up to find that we have stopped and all the families are getting off the truck. The village representatives have a few words with the truck driver before he drives away, leaving us in the middle of nowhere. All around us, green mountain peaks jut into the gray sky. July is the midpoint of the rainy season. The air, though cool, is heavy and humid. Thick, tall trees with wide green leaves and fat elephant grass surround us. I sit next to Jew and Gek on our small pile of clothes, listening to the sound of shrieking birds while the others stretch their bodies. A few feet away, Pa and the fathers of the 4 other families who came with us on the truck listen to the representatives as they give out instructions. We have to walk from here up to the mountains, Pa tells us. Pa picks up Gek and carries her on his back. Koi, Ming, Kev, and Kim gather up our bundles of clothes and follow the representatives as they lead us to a small hidden trail up the mountain. Ju and I hold Ma's hand and trail behind the other families. I try to run up to be near Pa in case there are snakes or wild animals that eat young children in the mountains, but pebbles and rocks slow me down by getting in my flip-flops, forcing me to shake them out every few minutes. We hike up the narrow path in silence. By nightfall, we arrive at our destination. The village chief takes all 5 families to his house and gives us rice and fish for dinner before the adults leave to hear further instructions. Afterwards, he leads us to a little hut behind his house that is to be our new home. The hut sits on 4 wooden legs raised 3 feet off the ground. Its roof and walls are covered with bamboo leaves and straw. This village is called Alungthomor, and we will live here for the time being, Pa informs us that night. Depending on when the truck arrives with supplies, every week or 2 the chief will ration each family salt, rice, and grains. To supplement these rations, we will grow a vegetable garden in the back of the hut. Remember, do not talk about Phnom Penh. There are Khmer Rouge soldiers patrolling the village, reporting our actions to the Angkar. From now on, we are country folk, just like everybody here. Our whole family sleeps together and lined up like sardines under our big mosquito net in the house. We huddle together to keep warm. On the second night, I become sick and have a terrible fever. My body aches all over and I throw up a lot. I feel hot and cold. I cannot sleep and have no appetite. Ma wraps me up in many layers of blankets, but still I cannot get warm. When I am very hot, I see ghosts and monsters coming to kill me. My heart races, causing searing pains to shoot up my spine and burn my flesh. I am scared of the monsters and run to get away. But no matter how fast or far I run, I can never escape them. When I come to, Ma tells me that Kim and Ju are also sick and had the same nightmares of being tracked down and killed by monsters. In the mountains and the weather, Pa tells us, we will get used to it eventually. We will have to watch what we eat. There are no doctors or medicines here, only homemade remedies. Pa should tell the mosquitoes to watch what they eat, for they are wicked things that make us sick. We are not the only new people here. Koi tells us that of the 800 people in Longthmore, approximately 300 are new arrivals. But the village population changes every day because the Angkar constantly moves people in and out of the village, which is how we ended up in an empty house. Every day, Pa, Koi, and Ming wake with the sun to work, and when the sun sets, come home. They work very hard, some days planting rice and vegetables and cutting lumber, and other days building dams and digging trenches. No matter how hard they work, after the first month there is less and less food to eat. We survive on the fish my brothers catch each day. We can no longer afford to eat plain rice, but have to mix it with mushrooms, banana stalks, and other leaves. After a few weeks, even the leaves are becoming scarce. Ma tells us to only pick the old dark green leaves and not the light green ones in our garden. She says that we need the light green leaves to grow, thus giving us more food. When we catch animals, we eat everything, feet, tongue, skin, and the innards. One day, Kim comes home grinning from ear to ear because he has caught a small wild bird. Ma smiles widely and pats Kim's head before taking the bird from him. Kim has tied its legs together, but it struggles and tries to peck at Ma's hand. Fetch a bowl and a knife quickly, Ma tells Ju. She takes the bird's wings and crosses them against each other on its back. With its wings secure, Ma instructs Ju to place the bowl under the bird. Holding its body between her knees, Ma takes its head and bends it backward, stretching its neck. As if sensing danger, the bird croaks louder and struggles to get away, but to no avail. Ma's free hand picks up a knife, and in one swift moment, the sharp edge slices into the bird's neck, silencing it. Thick blood spews out from the bird's open gash and drips into the bowl. Catch it all, Ma says anxiously to Ju. It's good blood. Ju picks up the bowl and brings it close to the wound to catch all the blood. Put it in a cool place in the shade so it will congeal faster. We can make rice soup with it. Tonight we will have a good dinner, Ma announces, smiling and finally letting go of the bird. Though dead and drained of blood, its body shakes violently in the dirt. Poor bird, I whimper, reaching over to softly pet its feathers. Its blood stains my hands, but I continue to pet it until its trembling body becomes completely still. Eventually, food becomes so scarce that the village chief sends Mang, Koi, and the other young men to the top of the mountain to dig for wild potatoes, bamboo shoots, and roots to feed the village. Each week, they leave on Monday and return exhausted on Wednesday or Thursday. On a good week, they come home with many bags of food, and the chief rations it out to all the villagers. There are times when they return with very little, and each person is given only one small potato per day. It is our second month in Moor, and we are amid one of the worst rainfalls ever. It starts every morning and rains throughout the day, stopping briefly only late at night. It rains so hard that my brothers are not able to go up the mountain to dig for potatoes and bamboo. What food we have planted in the garden has been washed away by the rain. To survive, my older siblings shake the trees at night, hoping to find June bugs. The younger kids, because we are close to the ground, catch frogs and grasshoppers for food. The rain makes the ground soft and muddy. Ju and Kim and I often slide around in the mud, even when we're not looking for frogs. With brown mud covering our faces, hair, and clothes, we laugh and roll in the slush like pigs. Within minutes, the rain pours over us, washing away the dirt and the mud. We pull the wings and heads off the bugs we catch and roast them with salt and pepper. Weeks go by, and still it rains. The rain floods the village, and the water rises to Pa's waist, drowning many animals. Pa tells us the flood is why all huts are built on stilts, high off the ground. Cold and hungry, the only food we have to eat are the fish and rabbits that float by. Pa ties a fish net to a long stick to catch them as they pass by in the rushing water beside our hut. Pa, here comes something, I scream excitedly one day. That's a good one. It looks like a rabbit. Look, Pa, here comes another, Jude tells him. Pa extends his hand to catch them with his net. He reaches in and pulls out 2 rabbits by the heads. The size of big rats, they hang limp and lifeless in his hands, their fur matted to their bodies. He takes the rabbits and places them on a wooden board. Their necks make a small crunch sound as he chops off the heads with his little knife. Kim then pours a bowl of water on the corpses to wash away the blood. Pa cuts open the skin from the neck all the way down to the bottom of the stomach. With that, he grabs the skin from the neck and pulls it off the bodies. Pa then separates the meat from the bones and cuts the flesh into very thin slices to soak in the lime juice Ma has prepared. Because everything is wet and there's a foot of water underneath us, we cannot make a fire. Pa feeds us young children slices of the rabbit meat. Though the lime juice cuts the taste a little, I still hate the texture of it. The flesh stretches and pulls in my mouth, and it's hard to chew. My stomach tightens, wanting to throw the food back out. Sucking on a slice of lime, I force the meat to stay down, because I know there will be no more food if I spit it out. Eventually, the rainy season is over and the floods recede, leaving behind wet, muddy ground. The whole village is in a state of panic, for there is no food anywhere. We have to leave, Paul tells us one night. People are discontent. They are hungry. The native villagers are suspicious of everybody, and they're asking too many questions. We are different. Your ma speaks Khmer with a Chinese accent. You kids have lighter skin, and besides me, this family does not know much about farming. So the villagers will make us the first scapegoats for their problems, Pa says. Hunger and fear make people turn against one another, so once again we have to flee. Pa pleads with the chief to relocate us to another village before the people have a chance to turn against us. In the morning, we will leave with only the clothes on our bags, trek down the mountain, and wait for a Khmer Rouge truck to pick us up. The killings have started, Pa tells my older brothers as we walk down the mountain to our rendezvous area. The Khmer Rouge are executing people perceived to be a threat against the Inkar. This new country has no law or order. City people are killed for no reason. Anyone can be viewed as a threat to the Inkar. Former civil servants, monks, doctors, nurses, artists, teachers, students, even people who wear glasses, as the soldiers view this as a sign of intelligence. Anyone the Khmer Rouge believes has the power to lead a rebellion will be killed. We have to be extremely careful, but if we keep moving to different villages, we may be safe. It has become too familiar to me by now. When Ma wakes me up in the early morning, I do not ask her any questions. It has become a routine. After many hours of walking, we arrive at the same spot where we were dropped off months before. There, we wait until afternoon and into the night for the truck that the chief arranged to come and take us far away to where no one knows us. When the truck comes in the darkness, we quietly climb in the back. We do not greet the families already on it, but silently step over their bodies to find empty places to sit. The truck takes us to the other side of the mountain to a village called Leek, where we wait for new orders from the soldiers. I wonder why the Inkar keeps uprooting and relocating people, herding them like cows from one location to another. For our family, the uprooting is a choice. Pa says we have to keep moving to stay safe. For many others, they have no say in the matter. It is as if no village wants us, nor do the soldiers know what to do with us. Eventually, another truck comes to take us to our new home, the village of Leap. I climb in and sit by myself in a corner of the truck while the rest of the family huddles closely together. Ming has said that when we arrived at Alunthamore 5 months ago, that there were approximately 300 new people there. Now, more than 200 of the new people have died from starvation, food poisoning, and malaria. I look over to see Ma holding Gek very tightly to her breasts, as if never to let her go. Ma, I'm hungry, Gek cries. Shh, it's going to be okay soon. Hungry, belly hurts, Gek continues to cry. I love you very much, and I will make things better. When we get back home, we will go to the park and get you your favorite food. We'll get some Chinese pork dumplings. Won't that be fun? We'll have a picnic and a good swim, then go to the park and Gek is so thin that her cheekbones protrude out of her face. Her cheeks are now hollow, her skin hangs on her bones, and her eyes are dulled with hunger.